Hi everyone, welcome back to another stitch tutorial, and today we're going to learn how to crochet the mini basket weave stitch. So these are 2x2, 2 front post by 2 back post pattern, and it's a 4-row repeat. So if you're a completely new beginner, it might be a little challenging, but I'll take you in the step-by-step instructions. So let's just hop over to our video. For this tutorial, you're going to use this yarn that I used in the previous tutorial. It's a thrift yarn, a 4mm crochet hook, pair of scissors, and a darning needle. So to begin, you're going to start by making a slip knot. Then you're going to chain a multiple of 4 chains plus 2. So I'm going to have 24, which is multiple of 4 times 6, then add 2 chains at the end. So I'm going to have a total of 26 chains. Continue, finish your multiples. If you're working with mine, chain 26, then we'll turn to row 1. I have my 26 chains, and for our first row we're going to yarn over, then skip the first 3 chains. These 3 chains will count as our first double crochet. Then on the 4th chain you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. When you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, then yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Then you're going to do that, working 1 double crochet in each stitch until the end of this row 1. At the end of row 1, you should have 24 double crochet stitches, and for the next row, row 2, we're going to chain 3. This chain 3 will count as our first double crochet. Turn your work, then yarn over, and in this next stitch you're going to work a back post double crochet. So pick your yarn, pass it behind your stitches so that your second stitch is behind your hook. Then yarn over, pull through. You should have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Then yarn over. In the next stitch you're also working a back post double crochet, so insert your hook between the second stitch, then push your stitch to the back of your hook and work another back post double crochet. So we have a double crochet, then 2 back post double crochet. For the next stitch you're going to work a front post double crochet. So yarn over, then insert your hook between the 3rd and the 4th stitch and pass it in the next space, bringing your post of that next stitch in front of your hook. Then yarn over, pull through. You should have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. Then you're going to work another front post double crochet in the next stitch. So we have a double crochet, 2 back post double crochet, 2 front post double crochet. So our alternate for this row will be, after working front post double crochets, you're going to place 2 back post double crochets, then 2 front post double crochet, and alternate that all the way to the end. So after our front post, you're going to work back post. So bring your hook behind your work, then push that next stitch behind the hook, then work a double crochet, back post double crochet in the next stitch, then follow that with front post double crochets, 2 front post double crochets. So all the way to the end you're going to repeat that, and then I'll meet you when you only have 1 stitch remaining. Just alternate after working the front posts, work back post in the next 2, front post in the next 2, back post in the next 2, all the way until you only have 1 stitch remaining. So I went ahead to the end of my row. I only have this chain 3 remaining here. Remember, it was our first stitch in our previous row. So I'm going to yarn over, and in that very last chain 3, locate the third chain and work a double crochet. Then for the next row, which is our row 3, you're going to chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet. And on this side of the row, we now have the next 2 stitches as front posts double crochets, because they are coming towards you, or they are pushed towards the front of your work, and the back posts are behind your work. So for row 3, we're going to start with 2 front post double crochets. So yarn over, then insert your hook around the post of that next stitch, bringing the post forward, then yarn over, pull through that post. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Then you're going to repeat that for the next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook behind that stitch, then yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. So you have your next 2 front post double crochets. And the next 2 stitches are back post. You're going to work back post double crochet. So yarn over, bring your hook to the front of the post of that stitch so that the stitch is behind your hook. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Then yarn over, bring your hook also above the next post, in front of the next post, so that the post of that stitch is behind your hook. Then work another back post double crochet. Then front post double crochet in the next 2 front post double crochets. And back post double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So for the rest of this row, you're going to work front post double crochet on the next front post double crochets or on every front post double crochets, and back post double crochet on the back post double crochets. So to identify the front posts and the back posts, the front posts are coming towards the front of your piece, and then the back posts are behind your piece. Now you can see the back posts are behind our piece. So we work front post on every front post and back post on every back post. So after working all the way to the end, finishing with your last 2 front post double crochets, you're going to yarn over and finish our row with a double crochet on the chain 3 that we started with previous row. So locate the third chain and then insert your hook like a normal double crochet. So we'll chain 3 and turn to our row 4. So our row 4, we're going now to start the basket weave. So instead of continuing with back post double crochet, because our next 2 stitches are back post double crochets, we're going to alternate it with front post double crochet. So yarn over and then insert your hook, bring the stitch forward and your hook behind that post, then finish your double crochet, and do the same for the next back post. So yarn over, take your hook behind that stitch, the stitch will be in front of your hook, then finish with a double crochet. And then the next 2 stitches, you have front post double crochets here. We're going to work back post double crochets in those next 2 stitches. So yarn over, bring your hook behind, in front of the post or in front of that stitch. The stitch will now be behind your work and behind your hook. Then yarn over, pull through. When you have 3 loops, you yarn over, pull through the first 2, then pull through the next 2. And do that for the next stitch. Then you're going to work front post in the next 2 back post double crochets. Then back post in the next 2 front posts. So for the rest of this row 4, we're going to place front post on every back post stitch and back post double crochet on the next front post stitches, and do that all the way until you finish your row, finishing with 2 front posts because our last 2 stitches are back posts. You're going to work front post in those last 2 stitches. So continue with your row, then I'll meet you when you're working on your very last stitch. I went ahead with my row, finished my last 2 stitches. We have front posts here, and then you're going to work a double crochet in the very last stitch. So finish your double crochet on the 3rd chain of that last chain 3. Then you're going to turn to row 5, and row 5 you're going to chain 3, which is our first double crochet. And then the next 2 stitches are back posts double crochets. You're going to work back post double crochet on every back post double crochet. So since our next 2 stitches are back post, we're going to work a back post. Then the next 2 stitches are front post double crochet, so work a front post double crochet on those 2 stitches. Then back post double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Front post double crochet in the next 2 front post double crochets. And all the way to the end, you're going to repeat that. Since you have back post double crochet in the next 2 stitches, you're going to work a back post double crochet in each of those 2, then front post double crochet in the next front post double crochets, back post double crochet in the next back post, and repeat that all the way, finishing your row with back post double crochets in these last 2 stitches. After working your last 2 back post double crochets, you're going to work a double crochet on this chain 3. So find the 3rd chain in that chain 3, then work your double crochet. So chain 3, turn to next row or row 6, and now we're going to do the row repeat. This is a 4-row repeat pattern. So you're going to repeat row 2, row 3, row 4, and row 5. And remember, row 2 we started with 2 back posts. So you're going to do 2 back posts followed by 2 front posts, 2 back posts, 2 front posts all the way to the end, and then turn to row 7. Row 7 you're going to repeat row 3. So I'll leave chapters from row 2 to row 5 so that you can easily go back and see how we did those rows, and then just repeat that all the way until you achieve your desired size or your desired project. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, let me know in the comment section below, and if you'd like me to post more stitch tutorials, please show me the stitches that you'd like to learn and we learn together. Thank you and bye.